Today is May 29th, 2026, and a busy day for new releases. Today we're talking about 3 new ones that I would recommend, the best of the best for this week, as well as a number of new release announcements from the last couple of weeks as I update you on things I'm going to cover or things I found interesting. The number one record you should be listening to today is Beckoning the Void of Eternal Silence, the third full-length album from Funebrarum, a United States death metal band heavily influenced by Scandinavian death metal, among other influences from United States death metal and whatnot. Long-awaited release, just as good as you'd expect it to be. Second, we have the 5th album from Treldum, a Norway-based band from Gaul that's been around since the early 90s. Initially a black metal band and now an avant-garde metal band who have taken an even more abstract and, I would say, experimental turn on this second of 2 new albums since they've reformed. And third, we have the latest album from Grave Pilgrim. This is a atmospheric black metal band, a melodic black metal band with, I would say, some heavy influence from Grand Belial's in terms of their guitar playing. It's pretty obvious once you really get into the thick of this record, Pungent Wine of Pride. And I don't know anything about the band, I've enjoyed this record and their previous one. Up first, we have the return of HEADHUNTER DC, a long-standing Brazilian death metal band who are basically an old school group who have been around since the mid-80s. This single from their new album, Rise of the Damned, reprises their classic style. It's obviously a celebration of the subgenre. You can go back to the first single from this album to kind of catch a little bit more of what else they're doing on this record. Always been a big fan of this. It's coming out on June 6th in Brazil. You'll be able to access it digitally otherwise. Well, I'm a little bit late on the announcement for this. This is the self-titled new record from KHEMMIS. This is a Colorado-based heavy metal band, epic heavy metal, doom metal, all of that. This is their latest for Nuclear Blast Records. It's out on June 12th. And Beneath the Scythe kind of caught my attention. I think it's a strong enough single that I'm going to check out and review this record.
This summer girl cuts the flesh away from me.
And third, we have the debut full-length album from NIRRITI, a band which appears to be related to Tetragrammaton and incites a form of primitive black metal, early grindcore, and what they call outsider noise. Drupad Anupada Apophatic Ragas of Non-Origination is a pretty unique record. I think you'll get that sense the moment I start playing a clip of this song. Mandukia, the primordial toad, croaks at the outer edge of Shupti. So we haven't heard a ton from Icelandic black metal in the last 5 years. There just hasn't been a ton of releases that have been kind of the bigger names, or I think Miss Firming was probably the one that hit hardest last, and there have been a couple of side projects that have been notable. Now we have this younger kind of next generation band. FORSMÁN were kind of the new guard when they showed up with their EP a little while ago, and now they're making good on that several years later with Brandar Rustir, however you pronounce those beautiful words. It is certainly a well-thought evolution of this band beyond their EP, and we're definitely getting something different from FORSMÁN this time around. So check out Drotin Fjör Gefur Alt. You might recall that I'm a fan of all things related to Fen, more or less. I think they've got some really great stuff going on in Fell Warden and related projects. It's been a few years since we've heard anything from Fen proper, and Tectonic is the first single from this new album, Elemental Part 1 Morning Earth, which seems to be a multiple part thing by suggestion. That releases on August 21st, and it seems like a mix of kind of their post-black metal sound and some of the aggression found on the previous record, and I like the balance that they're striking with this song. Metallic Torments is the second full-length album from French heavy speed metal band Iron Slaught. It'll be released on July 10th through Gates of Hell Records, and with this album they're intending to inject heavy speed metal with a more extreme edge. I don't think you're going to hear it that much on this song, Soldier of Fortune. It sounds like power speed metal from the mid to late 80s in the French scene, and I like that enough to want to talk about it here. Check out this song. Dallas-based progressive death metal project SALLOW MOTH kind of ended a while ago. They reformed, and now they're a duo with a live human drummer in Alan Gingrich, and that means they're back with a new album, Hydrophilus Brood, which releases on July 24th on Willowtip Records. Notably, this is more inspired by brutal death metal. It's a little bit more obvious as we cut into this song. I like this evolution of the band. It's kind of changed over time from like kind of a quasi-strange old-school progressive thing into something that is much more brutal and spastic as we go through the album. But for now, check out Distended in Panglacial Advent and see what you think. The big announcement of the week here is this new song, The Source Exterminator, from the third full-length album from Chilean death thrash metal band Ripper. Towards the Rebirth is a new album. It released on July 24th through Dark Descent Records, and this is one of my most anticipated records of the year and of any band. It's been quite a while since we've heard like a proper release from the group, and this song bodes really well. It seems like they found the right crew, they found the right sound, and this record's album art looks pretty incredible. So I'm looking forward to this one more than most at the moment. Check out The Source Exterminator.
There's no return, we just take time of thoughts. Source of danger, source of death, reborn in darkness, suffering entity,
and finally, Osmos Productions have announced they're going to release the sophomore full-length album from Romanian black thrash metal band RUYNED. Profanum Sacrificium is a kind of it's basically a speed metal record. It's very traditional in that sense, but there's black metal and thrash metal influences used throughout. If you're a fan of like Butcher 666, this is kind of along those lines. It's a little bit fiery like that. It's a little bit over the top, but also pretty traditional, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Check out the title track here. Thanks for checking out some new releases with me. I've been sick the last couple of weeks, so I didn't really get around to much. Expect the video for the top 10 of May to publish today. Leave a comment if there are any new releases that came out today that you'd like to talk about, that are worth mentioning, that I haven't reviewed already. And make sure to subscribe on here, like whatever you do. More importantly, go read the website. That's where all the stuff that I do is. Check it out.